Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Decided to run a SimLab production car challenge race for week 7 to close
The
it
track
out. We
temperature's
are
falling.
here
It's
at
now
Oulton
73
Park,
Fahrenheit.
again at the International Circuit, running the MX-5.
Retake 6 clear.
Caught the
Cross
back
the white
end
line. We've
of
got
a
2
split.
laps.
I am car
Let's
number
get this done.
33 out of 35. It is an all Mazda split. So it's going to feel kind of like a little bit of a longer glorified rookie race compared to the other week. Wanted to run this because there wasn't a ton of oval stuff left that I wanted to run, and wanted to get a little bit of redemption for the race that I had here last time in rookie. So going out for qualifying, going to be way off the pace since I am in a little bit of a higher split than what I normally would be in. Just trying to get the tires warmed up this first lap and just try to turn in the best time that I personally can. It's still going to be probably 2 seconds off, if not 2.5 seconds off the pace, but certainly going to do the best that I can to try to put something together, see if I can start ahead of some of the cars. Biggest thing for me is just going to be keeping it clean, not overdriving the track at all, and avoiding whatever mayhem does ensue, as this can still end up a bit rough at times. Could definitely get clean races, but it could definitely be rough as well, so that'll be the big keys for me to try to come away with a decent finish. Certainly not a ton of expectations since I am car number 33 out of 35, but easily could have a pretty good day in terms of iRating if I can get to, top 12 or 13, something like that. So, car is pretty loose right now. Just trying to warm the tires up. That'll help the car get a little bit more grip. Don't really have much of a setup built, just kind of took a setup that I had built from last season when I ran this and just double checked fuel and kind of scored a couple other things away. So it's not a real good setup at all, and honestly a setup wouldn't make a big enough difference for me because I'm so far off on driving. So there's far more I can learn by hitting corners than I can by setup. So that's why you can see my optimal lap time is so slow to 152.6. If I can get anywhere near that, I will be thrilled, even though that's still going to probably be 1.5 to 2 seconds off pace. Just picked up the throttle a bit too early there. Had to lift to make sure I didn't get off track. This isn't going to be a real good lap, but if I can get something serviceable, keep it clean, register a lap that'll at least bank something, and also do the job of continuing to warm up the tires, build up the pressures, allow me to get a little more grip to drive a little bit harder on lap 2 and see if I can pick up some time that way. Just try and do the best that I can to get something fun and enjoyable for you guys, and work on continuing to improve my road racing skills as well. I'm going to see how this one goes to see if I want to start moving to this more often when I have the tracks, and then supplement it with Rookie Mazda or other road series, or if I want to just continue to stay in Rookie Mazda. So this will kind of be a little bit of a test for me to see where I want to go. But not too bad through that section there. Just slowly trying to keep it through. This is a corner I don't seem to be attacking hard enough compared to a lot of guys that give up a lot of time here, but trying to just get through stuff safely. You can see I kind of attacked the corner a little too early, had to lift, that caused time, so I need to brake a little bit more and then pick up the throttle. And this is one that I seem to overshoot quite a bit, so now this time I undershoot it, don't drive it quite hard enough, but still won't be a bad lap time for me. Like I said, it won't be very quick at all, and hopefully I'll be able to go faster at lap 2, improve on that, but 152.8 for me is not too bad. Gonna see if I can get close to that optimal. Somehow it's got me sitting second right now, and we end up off track, so that lap unfortunately is not going to count. Just gonna stay out here, get some practice the last 3 minutes, just keep working through the track. For me, I try to use most of the qualifying time in a road race session just to continue to get laps and always try to work on improving. I'm always slow in a road race, so any little bit I can do will always help me immensely. This kind of gives me an idea of what to expect the car to feel like as the race starts as well. The first couple of laps, to know how hard I can push it once I kind of get traffic sorted out. I think it's going to be pretty slow going the first lap or two as everybody gets sorted out, and there's probably going to be quite a few incidents to avoid as well.
That's a new fastest lap for.
And see all the way back to 4th. I would be
152.00.
shocked if I stay within probably the top 7 or 8, unless there's that many people that chose not to qualify. It's been so long since I've run one of these that I don't know what everybody's strategy is on it. Going back in the direction that I expected for qualifying, was again hoping to get a faster second lap and just overdrove it. That's why I wanted to get a clean one in the first one, so certainly going to be quite a bit back. That time don't feel like I attacked the corner hard enough, but certainly better than the lap before in terms of having to lift, so the run off is a little bit better, which I guess if I'm going to miss one way, I'd rather not attack quite hard enough and be able to get off the corner a little better. I feel like I did a better job that time through the corner. Not going to be able to get this last lap in, but certainly see if I can improve on the sectors I am able to get through and carry a little bit more speed. Gonna lift it off there, but not too bad. Again, this delta bar is in relation to the optimal, so I can afford to give away a little bit off the optimal and still technically be faster than the qualifying lap I ran, which is technically my fastest lap I've run here before, so just gonna try to run the rest of this side of the course if I can. This is a spot I'm trying to do a better job making sure I don't get too far inside on the curb and kill wheel spin off the corner. Clip the tire barrier. Gotta watch out for how much I cut that. You can see it killed the lap time as well, even though it didn't seem like much contact, so I'm certainly going to be a little bit cognizant of those areas for the race itself. Overshoot that chicane a little bit, but was able to keep it on the track. So got some areas I need to quit overdriving so much, and then I should be in a little bit of a better section, or a better spot. 23 cars turned laps, 22 look like they hit somewhat decent, so just under a second off the pole sitter. So maybe might have the pace to come away with a top 10 or so. Just going to depend on how clean the start is. If I make any mistakes, that's always the big thing for me, is to not make mistakes. Got the 30 right behind me, so it's another car to watch out for that we easily could have out-qualified what our skill level was and run into problems. Just going to do the best that I can. Going to have some fast cars behind. The 2, the 3, the 5 are all behind me, so certainly if they're showing me they're that much quicker, I will definitely just let them by. No reason to push it at all. Bump up the fuel 1 gallon just to make sure I have enough. We should be more than good, but certainly going to not want to run out at all. Going to pull up session fast lap, just try to run as consistent as I can. Obviously, laps to start are probably going to be influenced by having to check out for traffic, or depending on if there's any wrecks or anything like that. But as it gets going, we should run probably 14 laps in the race. As it gets going, it gets spread out a little bit. It'll give me an idea to see how am I driving, if I'm running close to what my talent level allows me to, or if I'm not running as quick as I should. So, ran the series before, enjoyed it. Hopefully, it'll be a fairly clean race. It'll be something enjoyable for me to continue working on improving road racing skills. It'll be something enjoyable for you guys to watch. Just kind of see how it goes. Like I said, the last rookie race I ran here, felt like it wasn't my best race. Made some mistakes. If I remember correctly, came away with a somewhat decent finish, but made some mistakes in driving that I wasn't too proud of. So really want to try to do the best I can to clean that up and turn in a more solid performance all around, both finishing, speed, and safe-wise. So
the track temp is 73 Fahrenheit.
Go
P9.
is a rolling start. However, we have a bit of a shorter pace lap. We don't have to run the full circuit, so be a little bit quicker to get going, at least.
Follow Broadbent in the left column.
I do have a fast repair available should we have any issues. The plan is not to have to use that, obviously, but it is there if we get run over or something major ensues, although I really prefer not to use that. So I'm going to try to keep it as clean as I can. Just got to watch out for tires being a little bit cold, trying to warm both the brakes and the tires up here in the pace lap. Try to least get the brakes to where I know they're going to feel pretty confident. Be getting ready to roll. As soon as the pace car pulls in, it will be leader's discretion. Leader is off and rolling. We are going. Got some guys that are already banzaiing it, so we need to watch out for that. You can see the fast guys that I was worried about are flying up through, so kind of in this weird middle spot. Just got to try to figure out where to go. 28 has a little bit of problem. Got 3 wide. I'm backing out as the 28 was not going to back out, so certainly cost me a spot there, but probably should have backed out even sooner. 28 almost comes back down the track, so we got to watch out for him. Had to lift. Going to kill all the momentum on the outside. 28.5 will definitely have the momentum going into this corner, but certainly just going to try to find a clean line. Just got to keep working my way through and know that even if I give up spots off the starting position, which I don't want to do, I will be in a good spot. Big wreck back behind. I think the 5 was going around. Not sure if he had contact with anybody or if he just lost it on his own, but opens up the gap a little bit behind the 2. 28 loses it in front of me, so thankfully able to avoid him. That's also going to give me a spot back.
Looks like it's Broadbent.
So now I got the 3 up in front, the 2 behind me, so kind of sandwiched behind some faster cars, but certainly going to do the best I can. Overshoot that corner a little bit, but able to save it. Just got to start clicking off rhythm laps now, as there should be most of the wrecks behind us. Although you never know with how tight these guys are going to run. Pull a little bit away from the 2, have about the same gap ahead to the 3 as I do behind to the 2. I'm sure the 2s run a little more conservative and just working the car to warm up the tires. Push a little wide, unfortunately get a off track out of that. Just got on the throttle too early, so got to watch that and try to avoid any more of those if I want to keep a clean race. But thankfully lap time, or excuse me, gaps are still about the same, about 1 second ahead to the 3, about 1 second back to the 2, and then quite a bit of a gap back to the 21 behind, so up to 8th, so technically up 1 spot off the start. Gives me a little bit of a buffer there, even if the 2 does catch me and get on by, so if I can keep it inside the top 10, I'll be really happy with that. Obviously, if I can finish 9th or better, I'll be really happy with that to maintain starting position. Just about trying to click off clean laps now and run as clean of a race as I can. Pushed a little wide, had to wait a little bit to pick up the throttle, doesn't seem to hurt me too much. Got some pretty close racing up ahead, some guys that are having to check up for each other as they get through the corner, so certainly could be the potential of contact up ahead. Got to keep my eye out for that. Just gonna make sure I don't overdrive the chicanes or clip tire barriers. 2's doing a good job of hanging right with me. I would not expect to be faster than him. If I can keep ahead with these guys, I will be really happy with that as well. Wouldn't be shocked to see most of them start to pull away though. Although you've obviously got somebody like the 30 who potentially could make a mistake at some point in the race that I could try to capitalize on. Otherwise, he could be in an even better position than I am to improve greatly out of this race. Try not to overdrive that corner, but also not lose too much time. Pull a little bit away from the 2. Still about the same gap to the 3. Kind of overdrive that corner a little bit for what I wanted. Clip the curbing a little too much. Just need to slow down a little bit sooner in there. We'll see how we are. About a second off the leader, 1.1 or so, which is better than I expected it to be. So overshot turn 1 there, able to keep it from an off track. Just need to brake a little bit sooner. Got the 18 coming out after repairs. Not sure 2's able to get by him, so wasn't going to be sure if that was going to give me a chance to get away from the 2. You can see my mistake through the first sector allowed the 3 to pull away quite a bit, and the 2's also catching me, so just need to keep it a little bit cleaner. We got some blinking up ahead, got to watch out for that in case there's any contact that happens from that. Probably underdrove that corner a little bit, but just trying to get back into a rhythm of running safe, clean laps. Rather give up a couple tenths and keep myself from having any problems than push it too hard and lose it. Like I said, I'm happy enough to be in this position. So I don't really need to
20 minutes remaining. You've got 20 minutes
overdrive too much. Fifth of the way through the race. This is a timed race, 25 minutes, so 5 down, 20 to go. Like I said, should be about 14 laps. My guess is, unless there's problems up ahead, it's probably going to be a 9th place finish. I have to keep an eye out for the gap to the 21 behind and see if he's gaining on me or if it's just the 2. Hoping it's just the 2, but we'll have to see.
Jake, hold your nerve, just keep it smooth, no mistakes.
Certainly got to try to do my best not to overdrive this corner here. That sets up a run down the front stretch. Did a much better job that time of not overdriving it. You can see the delta. It's not going to be as fast of a lap overall because of a couple of the other mistakes I made, but certainly a much better lap that way. Let's try to make sure I get through turn 1 as cleanly as possible. A little bit of a better job there. Gap again to the 2 is still holding consistent clip. A little bit too much of the grass kind of sends me a little bit wider than I wanted to be, but overall able to keep it clean. That does allow the 2 to close up on me. He's going to start getting better runs on the straightaways the closer he gets, as he's able to take advantage of my draft for longer. So, gonna probably have to try to find a place when he starts looking to get by me to see where that's gonna be. Not sure what corner he's gonna be thinking of. He almost wanted to look to the right side of me going into that corner. I thought about giving it to him, and then he kind of backed out, so decided to resume my normal line there. I'm sure he's anxious to try to get back to the front. Gap seems to be holding fairly consistent with the cars up in front. 2 probably should not have been looking to the right side of that corner. That would not be a spot that I would be taking it, not a spot that I really want to give it to him, but if he continues to get aggressive, I'll certainly give it to him at an opportunity like that. No sense in running the risk of him getting too impatient, getting wrecked for him to get on by me. And I'll check the gap to the 21 this time by see where it is, start to keep an eye on how he's doing. Kind of overdrove that corner a little bit, get a bit too wide. I think the 2 kind of did the same thing. While he's able to close up, he's going to look down the front stretch. I think I'm just going to bail going into turn 1 and give it to him this time. Let him on by.
8th place. Sector 2 is 0.8.
Bails out of it. Maybe he thinks it's a better spot not to go there, which he's probably not wrong. Stay to the left-hand side, see if I can get him on by. Just trying to hold, not giving him necessarily the best line, but trying to get him by, see if he can get a better run down the straightaway, and I'll bail out in the next corner, try to get him on by.
Come on,
There
mate,
we
defend
go.
your position.
Slowed down a little bit more than I needed to, but certainly just wanted to get him on by and be able to follow through. 13's gotten by the 21, so it'll be a gap I have to pay attention to now. So the 2 of them are pretty close to each other, but it looks like the 13's starting to pull away from the 21. This lap obviously is going to be quite a bit slower, as I was trying to get the 2 on by me, so not too worried about that overall in relation to my consistency. I'll be able to gauge a little bit better the next time by.
Okay, Jake, gaining on this car. The gap is 0.6.
Unless the 2 makes a mistake, if I do catch him, I think I'm just kind of content to ride behind him. I don't think I'll be catching him. I think he's going to be pulling away quite a bit. Bigger goal is just to try to keep it clean and stay ahead of the 13 and the 21. I feel like I'm not taking a wide enough entry into that corner. It's setting me up for a bad apex for the next one, so something I need to improve on there. Overshot that corner a little bit. You can see the 2's able to apex just a little bit sooner, pick up the throttle a little bit earlier, and carries a lot more momentum down the front stretch, so that's something I need to improve on. 5.3 or 5.4 at the line to the 13, 5.8 to the 21, so keep an eye on that gap. But still in ninth, running where I started, pretty happy with that, other than the one off track. Been a fairly clean race by me. Pretty clean race overall by all the cars up front, which I would hope, given that this is a little bit higher split than what I normally run, I would hope that'd be the case, but
15 minutes
sometimes
remaining,
people
15
get a bit
minutes to
too
go.
aggressive trying to get by each other in
Here.
these higher splits. Not that this is a high split, but you know, never know what the racing's going to be like, so certainly going to see if I can get under a 152.5 now. Just going to try to take advantage of the draft of the two, see if that can help me improve the lap time a little bit by increasing straightaway speeds. Didn't quite get through that chicane as well as I wanted to, but not too bad overall. Still running ahead of the fastest lap. So if I can keep it clean, certainly could be in line to hit the lap time goal that I wanted. Oh, I got a bit too much there of the curbing in the grass. Thankfully not an off track, but it got the car a little loose coming out of the corner, so killing the momentum down this straightaway. Certainly need to tighten that up.
Lodge. There's an incident in D-Elite.
Probably slowed down a little too much there. You can see how much time I gave up, but wanted to try to hit the line a little bit better. 13 definitely looks like he's closing up on me. It certainly could be a tight battle to the finish if he's able to continue picking up a lot of time. I pick up quite a bit of time through the corner that time, so should still be able to best the lap, but it won't be as fast as I wanted.
It's just been disqualified.
But improving overall, so
That's the fastest lap of the race.
hard to see what the gap to the 13 was since we had cars on pit road. It says 5.0 right now, so I think he might have picked up half a second or so. Just at that rate, it's, like I said, going to make it really close in terms of if he'll be able to get to me and by me before the end of the race. Looks like he's approaching the 18 now, so we'll see how quickly he can get by the 18. Pick up the throttle a little too early, got a lift there, that's going to hurt the momentum. Lap time, trying to keep it off the 2 as I broke a little too late there. Goes the lap time as well. Certainly just going to hang behind the 2 now. Didn't set up quite as good of an entry into that chicane as I wanted. Able to get a little better of an exit though, so lap time is improving a little bit. Just need to watch, probably back up the braking points a little bit so I can make sure that I don't get into the 2 in case he brakes any sooner than I expect. Again, still not going to challenge him yet for the position, just going to sit behind and follow and learn. Don't think I am that much faster overall, but back half of the race, if I am consistently catching him, then certainly it could be something that's worth going after. But just really need to evaluate where my driving is and try to keep consistent laps. If I can keep them within a 10th or 2, I'll be pretty happy with that. Trying to do a better job not overshooting that corner. You can see I still technically did, although I wouldn't have been able to get as good of a run with the 2 right in front of me. Gap's closed up about a half a second, it looks like, to the 13, so like I said, that battle could easily get pretty interesting. Unfortunately, clipped a little too much to the inside, got the off track there, just gotta watch how much I get that. Must have hit it differently in practice because I did that before and didn't get an off track, so certainly need to watch that. Try to pick up the throttle a little bit later, make sure I don't go off. Just picked it a little too late, losing a little bit of time down the straightaway, but not too bad overall. Feel bad getting into the 2 there, did not mean to do that. That's completely on me. Thankfully I didn't spin him out.
Keep the pressure on. Don't give
Unfortunately, it's going to give me a lot of more incident points, so just got to stay off of him. That was a spot where I should have been backing up the braking point a little bit more. Really thought he'd be going a little bit faster through that, though. That's my fault for assuming what I didn't know. It's better to just play on the side of caution and back off a little more than to do something like that and end up with unnecessary incident points. Really has a bad second part through that chicane. Picked up a lot, had to bail out because that was not a good spot to try to get by him. It's costing me a lot of time with the 13, so certainly gonna have to look at getting by him because he's not closing up to the 30 at all. So certainly gonna, if I can get back to him, start seeing if there's a section of the track I can try to make up a little time and get on by him. Thought he was gonna be a lot faster overall.
Alright,
Once
Jake,
he got
10
by me,
minutes to
he
go.
would
That's 10 minutes left.
be gone, but that does not seem to be the case. Pick up a little too much of the curve there, get the car a little loose off the corner. Not quite as good of a run as I want, but not too bad. Overall, 3 seconds now to the 13. He's closing in fast, but like I said, I feel like a lot of that's being slowed down by the 2.
Rowlands has just been disqualified.
Just trying to kind of shake myself, get a little bit of a different look around him. Try to get to his inside as I feel like I got a better run that time down the straightaway. See if I can establish the inside line going through this corner. Thought he was going to back out, he doesn't. He's going to be in the better spot for this corner, but certainly going to hope he just runs right into the side of me, gives me no room, so looks like it's going to be a pretty aggressive battle. The 13's going to be wanting to join it relatively soon. Just going to try to line up these chicanes as best as I can, get a run at them, see if I can find somewhere to get around them. Certainly not going to be easy. I feel like I'm able to get out of that chicane a lot better than him and just cannot find the spot to get by him. Kind of gets a little loose there off the corner, keeps us about even. This is the corner where he's always going to pull away from me. I just cannot get through this corner very quick. Give him a little bit of a shot there. A little too hard, a little too much on me. Try to get to his right side, see if I can outbrake him going into this corner. He's going to look to cross over. It's going to also open up the door for the 13.
Well done, good
He and the
pass.
13 make some contact. He's not happy as he gives me a shot there. This is certainly going to be a
E9.
hard-fought
Maximise every
battle.
lap. Let's salvage what we can.
Tried to get by him. We're just going to keep flipping lines back and forth. And again, he's not giving me much room, not being real kind. Try to take the inside line here, see if I can pull away from him. He's going to get the draft, though, and be able to cross over, take the inside line next time, but try to establish the right-hand side so that I have the preferred line going into the next hairpin. See if the 13 can give him some problems. Those two can battle, and I can pull away. This is definitely going to be a interesting last 5 laps of the race for sure. A few more incident points than I probably needed out of it, but a couple of them I don't feel too bad about. Get a little too loose out of the chicane. That's going to give him the run that way. Just going to hold to the middle of the track, try to take the inside lane out of the chicane. Certainly not going to back out. I overshoot the corner, able to keep it off. He does a great job staying off of me. Thank you to him for that. That part was very respectful, even if some of our battle hadn't been. Really proud of him for that. I just definitely sent it way too far into the corner. With him bailing out so hard that actually allowed the 13 to get on by him, so out of all that actually gives me a bit of a reprieve in the gap, but
The gap in front
13's certainly probably quicker than me, so just have to see how it sorts out overall. Gonna try to not overdrive corners, pick up throttle as smoothly as I can, keep the car going straight, not slide it out of the corners. 0.4 and 0.9 are the two gaps behind this time by.
P8.
Trying to wait, get on the throttle at the right time, but maximize corner exit speeds. Gonna have likely 4 to go this time. So, not a ton of laps, but still plenty of time for somebody to get by. I get through that corner really slow. That allows the 13 to close up big time. 2 even closed up some behind as well. Just hoping I can get through this section of the track a little bit faster. Build up the gap a little bit. 13 gets a really good run through the hairpin, able to close up big time on me, though this is a shot where as long as I don't overdrive it, I can generally protect my position. It's not the best spots to try to pass.
Okay, Jake, 5 minutes to go, 5 minutes left.
Here, 5 minutes to go, so it's likely going to be 3 laps, depending on where the leaders are at. Making sure I don't overshoot the chicane this time. It's going to be my opportunity to try a pull away from 13 in the 2. Push it a bit too wide, but able to keep it going straight.
That's half fuel. You've used half your fuel.
Definitely have enough fuel to make it to the end, not worried there. A little bit too late on the brakes, not the best. Entry through the corner there, it's going to give the 13 the chance to look to the inside. We've got the 30 just all over. I didn't realize he was coming back across the track. That was my fault there. Wait for everybody.
There's an incident in Lodge. They're showing the meatball flag. We'll need to come into the pits for repairs.
We're going to have to go use the fast repair. Thought I was clear, saw him coming back at the last minute, didn't really have anywhere to go. Sucks because the whole car's done, and unfortunately going to have to keep it clean, so certainly completely my fault there, but really frustrating because it ruins the chance at a good finish. Not sure what the 13 was doing there, but of course I ended up doing the same thing on the other side trying to get around, so
Look out for the pit speed
just
limit.
going to use
Pit
the
lane speed limit
fast
is
repair
31
to
miles per hour.
be able to finish the race out.
Box now.
Forgot to uncheck tires, so gotta get those done. Hopefully drop the car down. Just try to get going as much as I can. That cost me too much time. Some extra spots I did not need to give up, but certainly gonna do what I can to try to salvage a
Your exit
finish.
is clear. Watch the white line.
Likely should still be ahead of where I was expected to finish, although now I will definitely be losing iRating and safety rating. Just completely on me for not thinking to go to the left to avoid him. I thought he was just going to stay where he was and I could get to the right hand side. Did not think he was going to continue across the track like that, but I should basically expect the worst out of somebody and not hopeful that they're not going to do something like that. So it's all about finishing this race out kind of in my own little spot. Unfortunately, going to have a very loose car with fresh tires on the left-hand side's pressure is going to be down quite a bit, so I need to just take it real easy like I did in qualifying, just build everything back up. By the time it feels good, though, we're going to be done with the race, as we're going to have 2 to go next time by. Just got to try to keep it clean so I don't fall back to the 32. I think I should probably be 23rd.
Ahead is Wisniewski.
Super frustrating because I
2
thought
minutes to go, 2 minutes.
the 13 and the 2 and I were going to have a great battle, but not much I can do there. Just completely my fault and need to react to those a little better, learn a little better. So hopefully you guys don't leave the channel for that mistake. That was really stupid on my part, but certainly one that, you know, should easily be fixed by me going forward. Finally able to get through that section a little bit better, so just gonna try to piece together the best lap I can here for the last one, and I don't have the last lap yet, no white flag, so 2 to go, but try to see if I can take advantage of the fresh car and turn my fastest lap in now that I've got clean track out front and behind. Should be able to push it. Try to get to that 152.5 before the end of the race.
P23.
And back to 23rds like I expected.
Cutting the track. Keep it between the white lines.
Didn't take a good entry into 1 there, kind of killed the run off. Super frustrating that I make a stupid mistake like that to kill a really good finish. But it's all a learning experience. Probably should spend more time in rookies rather than running this, since I cannot avoid mistakes like that. It's just completely my fault there. Certainly unavoidable, or avoidable, but I mean, maybe it's not going to be as damning once I get out and look at it. Might have been one of those where I didn't have room to go to the left and was kind of stuck. I think I was going fast enough coming through there that I would not have been able to get on the brakes to avoid them. So if I didn't have room to go to the left, then I don't feel quite as bad because there really wasn't anything I could do. But I feel like if I look at it again, there's probably going to be evidence to prove that I could have gone to the left and should have gone that way. I just thought he was either going to stop or I don't really know what he was going to do in that situation. Trying to get through this section a little bit better. Lost time out of the corner, but the overall sector is still looking better. Slow down too much for this corner, but trying not to overshoot the exit. You can see how much time I gave up, but hopefully shouldn't lose too much time coming across the line. We get the white flag now, so I got one last shot to turn in a good lap time. Just going to try to treat it like qualifying and push as hard as I can, and hopefully run a little bit of a better lap, get through turn 1 better. So starting off well. Nothing to run for unless somebody up ahead wrecks and really has to slow down or take a tow. Gaps are just too big, even if somebody kind of slides off the corner, but you never know what could happen. Slower through that section, giving up some lap time, so just try to dial it back in this section of the track. Find a spot to make up some time. Not headed in the right direction so far, but never know. Mistake wheel spin there for thinking that it was time to shift, and that kind of killed the run off of the corner. Just trying to get through the chicanes as fast as I can, build up any time that I can. For whatever reason, that chicane I've been better than the first one. Over-rotate the car a little bit off the corner. Thought I could pick up a little momentum. You can see I'm starting to lose time, but overall lap time is not terrible. It's not going to be what I wanted, but certainly not too bad. Just trying to get through this section a little bit more, see if I can pick up lap time. I pushed it too hard, had to lift off to avoid the off track. This is going to kill the lap time. Tried to do what I could. Feel really bad that I had that mistake there and cost a good finish for you guys, but this 23rd won't be a bad spot to be in.
There's an incident in Cascades.
And that's where it's going to finish in 28th, or 23rd, excuse me. So, actually, we moved up to 22nd, so picked up one spot. Somebody must have gone to pit road that I did not catch. Not a good finish overall, just going to get up here a little bit and then pull over. Just going to stop right here, park the car. We'll take a look at that and see if there was anything I could do. That was the 30 that had the spin right in front of us. So you can see I've got the 13 up ahead. We're going to look at it from chase view. Fast forward, try to get to that section a little bit quicker. Alright, so let's actually do this. Let's look at it from the cockpit view. So I can, as I come over, crest the hill, I can see him sitting around. He's backing up at that point. Should have caught that he was going to try to pull across the track. Didn't quite think that right away. So then as soon as I saw him pulling across the track, I start thinking, okay, he's going to be on the left-hand side of the track, so the right-hand side is the way for me to go. Also probably should have been lifting out of the throttle at this point as well, and didn't do that. So he starts going across the track, so I'm headed to the right-hand side. I'm thinking that's where I'm going to be. I'm looking at this gap right here to be able to try to cut through. And as soon as I'm there, he's turning back. I don't honestly know if I could have cut over here to do it. So from the cockpit view, it doesn't look as bad. And at that point, I'm already on the brake, but there's nothing I can do. I'm done for at that point. So let's look at it from the rear chase and see how much room I had. Oh yeah, I really didn't even have as much room to the left as I thought. Like I could have tried to cut to the right or to the left and avoid the 13, but there really wasn't much I could do. The only thing was to just completely bail, let the 13 and the 8 by or the 2 by, and then just try to cut behind the 2 and go, which is what I should have done. Obviously, that would have saved me about 12 positions, but yeah, I don't know. I just reacted a bit too late, so super frustrating that he did that. And again, let's look at it from his perspective. I just want to see what he even did. I think he just gets off the track, loops it, clips the wall, it shoots him around. He's off the track. Should be seeing everybody coming because he should easily be able to look to the left. So he pulls out and then gets going. Honestly, he should probably be lining himself up to this side, and instead he hooks all the way back across the track. And I don't see if he spun it around. Look at it from the cockpit view and see if he spun it around. Maybe he did. He's got so much left hand into it. Yeah, so he actually just had so much right hand wheel on it trying to get it turned around that it kind of just all of a sudden, as soon as it gripped, it just rotated it right around. And that's where the problem was. So I guess not much he could have done differently there. I just wish he would have, tried to correct it back. But I can understand with having that much wheel what happens there. So super frustrating. Let's go take a look at the results, see how bad all of that is. Again, feel free to leave your feedback. I think the correct way obviously would have been either try to cut back to the left, but that would have been a bit tough in front of the 13. The smarter move would have just been to slam on the brakes and try to bail out of it. So it was third split out of 8, 1580 strength of field, so weak overall, but pretty strong for my rating. Fortunately, couldn't capitalize on it and bring something home. You can see the 2 got involved with that. He actually got disqualified for incident count, so he actually ends up finishing behind. 13 was able to take advantage of that though and gets a 7th after he got by me and the 30 there. So pretty good by him. I end up finishing in 22nd. Disqualification with the 3 or the 2 must have been what got me there. About a second and a half off the leader. It's a little better than where I expected to be. Actually, probably where I expected to be more 2 to 2.5. So lost 20 guy rating there, so just over 1500, 1503, and somehow actually only lose 0.03, even with 15 and some points. So pretty crazy about that. I guess to be somewhat break even on that, I will take that given the result. Feel free to leave your feedback if you would have just slammed on the brakes as soon as you saw him and bailed out, or what you would have done, or if that's just kind of I was in a bad spot no matter what and didn't really have much of a way out. Would love to hear your guys' feedback on that. Just love hearing from you guys in general. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Not sure if we'll run anymore, just kind of see how the responses, see what I feel like, how I feel about my driving side and what I need to do there, and certainly going to go there, go forward from that. So stay tuned for more races, and until the next one, hopefully all your laps are fast, your races are clean, and your finishes are good. Thanks for watching.